Tax season is upon us once again. Not to worry though, with a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your needs will be handled in a professional and thorough manner. Robson, Scribner & Stewart is just that firm. They're there for their clients year-round, not just during tax season, to handle your needs and answer any questions you may encounter. At Robson, Scribner & Stewart, there is no client too small or too large. Their expertise ranges from the single individual to the largest of corporations. Get your return prepared by a professional who will use their years of experience to ensure that your tax return's outcome will leave you in the best possible position. Call them today at 694-4184. Robson, Scribner & Stewart. They're there for you today. Again, that number is 694-4184. Time is of the essence, so don't delay. 694-4184. WOCA. Ocala.
Listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA The Source, as we are now 6 minutes after the top of the 8 o'clock hour. It's time for our Blood Bank Report. This is the segment where we talk with Galen, who we have on the phone this morning from Life South Community Blood Centers. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, Adam, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Another beautiful day. We're supposed to maybe reach highs in the upper 80s, almost 90 today, and it looks that way for the next few days. I love it, too.
Love it.
And gets just cool enough in the evening, in the morning, to that's almost a 25-degree difference. That's why it doesn't feel like it does when it's oppressive in July and August with 90-degree type of weather. So it's not bad at all. I'm welcome it. Everybody needs to sweat a little bit. Get outside, enjoy it, get some vitamin D. That's how we're gonna fight this thing.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
I have a guy I work with, and he has a family of 14.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was joking. I'm like, man, you can't even go home.
Yeah.
You have to leave the house. What are you going to just sleep in chips? and he laughed, and I said, yeah. I mean, like if you were in China, well, first of all, I wouldn't have had 14, people, but they would have come and and physically yanked you out of your house. So it was.
Yeah.
Say 14.
Our liberty doesn't matter anymore. I'm amazed at how quickly people are just giving up their liberty. I really am. I'm just shocked by that they're just willing to do whatever the government says they're supposed to do.
Now, did you see? Were you surprised at all with what Governor DeSantis was saying yesterday with the expectation to close restaurants and all that good stuff, considering we would follow suit?
Yeah, I know it, people probably sound like I'm a skeptic. I'm not. I understand exactly what's going to happen. What they're trying to do is flatten the curve. That's what they've been trying to do since day one.
Yep.
It's not going to stop the spread of it. I want to make sure people understand this. It is a flu. You will eventually get it. What they're trying to do is limit the time length over exposures so that they can control it and they don't get overrun if it does indeed become as bad as like H1N1. And so they're trying to spread it out because this is a different virus and it hits your respiratory system. That's a factor. But they're just trying to make it go, take a little longer for everybody to get it. But we were all going to be exposed to it eventually. Everybody's been exposed to H1N1, and one of two things happen. You get sick and you develop antibodies, or you don't get sick and you develop antibodies. That's how this works.
Now, we also have unprecedented moves by the state of Kansas to pretty much close schools for the rest of the year, in lieu of campuses and stuff with college to do online courses. I don't know what it means for the public schools. I didn't go into too detail in the article we read, but they are.
I don't think they can here in Florida because of the union.
Right.
I don't think they can do online courses unless the teachers themselves present it, and there's no infrastructure for that. They're There just isn't. I mean, where's the teacher supposed to do the classroom from, and how are the kids supposed to log in? How are you supposed to have that many kids log in? And I did read a report that if you want, you can stay in the same grade. So if you want to just not go to class the rest of the year and just remain a freshman or a sophomore or a senior, you can do that. Because if you think about it, graduation is such a big part, and a lot of these kids have already been accepted into their university.
Right.
For if they're a graduate, how does that impact them? And walking and getting a degree, and people who have played a sport their entire lives and their last opportunity to play it on a competitive team, their senior year is now gone.
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things I feel bad for, or people who have been working on a play for, some type of performance for the last 6 months, and it's gone. Not to mention the just in our community, the thousands of jobs that were lost yesterday.
Yeah.
Just lost.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a mass. It's the equivalent of a layoff that hits every sector. So, every restaurant had to have massive layoffs, and some of those jobs, they're entry-level jobs, and some of them were, high-end chefs, owners, and I understand. I guess they made this not lightly, but I hope it was worth the price that we're going to pay. That's what I've always said. You got to balance it.
Yep.
And then I read an article in the New York Times this morning about how there's only 3,000 ICU rooms in New York City, and there could be as many as 100,000 people in ICU. And I'm like, how does that help? What are you basing your number on? That's nothing. And this is what the media has become: is this fear mongering, and you have no idea what the truth is, because they just come. All they're trying to do is get you to click on it.
Yeah.
And I get it. Newspapers have always tried to sell papers.
Yeah.
I get it. I've been a part of it, but I don't remember a time in which everything, where they were just trying to capitalize, because that industry as we know it is failing to this point where they are so desperate. They're trying to get you behind that paywall. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Yeah, that's not a bad point. Now, with that, like I mentioned with Kansas schools, do you see some other states following suit with that, like we saw with the restaurants and stuff? Do you think it's a domino effect that certain other states are going to do the same thing?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope not. I really do. I hope not. I hope not. I mean, I hope not. And again, they're just trying to flatten out the curve. These people from Ontario need to get off the dang road. But that's probably a bigger problem for me right now, is Canadians on the roadway. But again, everybody keeps saying, oh, in another week it's going to triple. The death toll is going to triple. Okay, well then let's see. Let's see where we're at in a week. And I thought it was a balanced approach. But my wife and I were talking once we got the official notification, because a rumor was out there. Mm-hmm. But if this happened to us 10 years ago, right, when we had a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old,
okay,
and we were still in our current jobs, what would we do with our children?
Yeah.
If you have a child, and I'm sure there's people out there, what do you do with your child for this long? Mm-hmm. You can't leave them with a grandparent, right? Because then there could be exposure. You can't take them to another daycare, because you can't have 10 people.
And
one of you has to stay at home.
Right, and that's still up in the air too, by the way, partner. When you mentioned daycare, is, they're still open, but that's still threatened to be one of the other things that would shut down due to the expectations of trying to get it to not spread. Is that still on the forefront of maybe even that being closed because that's part of, if we're closing schools, then the daycare itself can become its own petri dish in a way. So that's looking to be threatened also. We're lucky we've made it this far with being able to still have daycares open.
Not really. See, that's the wrong attitude. See, and people keep saying that. And why? Why are they closed? Let's look at all the cases and compare it to the flu.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
All right.
Worldwide. We could do this worldwide. More people in the last, I'll give you all the way to February 1. More people since February 1 have died from the flu than the Wuhan virus. Period. In the story, that's globally. That's in each country. That's in the United States. That's a fact. That is an undeniable fact. And so people keep saying, well, we have to. Why? Well, we got to quit the spread. We don't worry about the flu that kills 45,000 people a year. Same way.
45,000 is a lot.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. H1N1 killed 1 million people in a 12-month span.
A
million people
also
in a
lot.
12-week span.
Can I throw one thing at you, Galen? I don't want you to think I'm too nuts, but I just feel it's worth this question. And a grain of salt with it, and I don't care how you take it, but have you ever thought within the existence of this now going on that maybe there's some other underlining details? I'm not saying complete conspiracy theorist here, but did you ever think that maybe there's something else that is about this? Because it isn't. We're talking numbers that aren't close to, like we said, influenza. We're talking about something different. And we get that the idea is to stump the spread and all this. But do you think there's something else? Do you think there's some other motive or agenda to this at all? Have you thought of that? Or
what do you mean? What would be the motive or agenda?
I don't know. Maybe government seeing how they can handle certain things, or how do I put this? Maybe in a way,
I don't know.
It's a test to see what the government can get away with in a way. Like, that's why they're doing so much more. It's like, I don't know, maybe the hair on the back of my neck and a small conspiracy idea would be like, all right, they've made this so much bigger than it really is, just to test waters to see what they can kind of get away with in a sense.
So it's the Illuminati thing.
Not completely. I'm not saying that altogether. But
why not? Well, that's what you're saying, because what you're inferring is that all the governments and the powers that rule the world, right, all got together and said, you know what? Let's flex our muscles a little bit. See just how much control we have over these people.
Maybe a small percentage, but just to the idea. When we're talking about, when we're talking about numbers between what the flu and influenza really did and to what this is. But I mean, obviously, if we step back and look at a bigger picture of it, we're just trying to do. When they say safer than sorry, absolutely, they're trying to say big time. Way more safe, and that's what we talked with you about, is like it's too much safe, it's too much bubble wrap to the idea of then sorry. But I don't know, I just for fun of conversation.
I think Ben Franklin said it best, is there's a balance between security and freedom. I'm paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
And I would rather be free than secure. And that's where we're at as a society right now.
That's a good point.
As a guy from Ontario is driving with his hazards on in the middle lane for some unknown reason. Guess he has the freedom to do that. He is all over the place. So security versus freedom. That's exactly where we're at as a country.
Yeah.
What is more important to you? Is this false hope that we're going to save lives by bunkering in? And no one, if you notice, none of the politicians says this is to save lives, because they can't say that. All they're trying to do is flatten this curve, and so that it's not as dramatic as it could be.
Yeah.
And I'm just, how long does this last? How long is the United States and the citizens going to put up with the government putting out an edict saying you cannot operate your business?
Yeah. I think
it's an affront to me as an American. I cannot believe that this is where we're at. And some of the people who thought that that Trump is a dictator, falling right in line going, yes, he's not doing enough. He needs to take more of our freedoms away. How do they close complete casinos in Vegas? How do they do that?
I don't know. I was going to ask you too.
The government runs the school system.
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense.
I get it.
I get that too.
They run it. Whether we like that or not, they own it.
So yeah,
Our children are indoctrinated every single day.
Right. So that's the point.
How do they just close things?
Yeah, if the Golden Nugget just decides to stay open and they're the only casino in town that decided to stay open, what's the repercussions? What are they reprimanded
What
with?
do they break?
Yeah.
My thought was if I have 10 people over for a party, is the government going to come in and shut me down? Now Ohio's in front of me going 14 miles an hour. So, are they going to come in and yank people out?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Beaches are closed. How are beaches closed? Beaches. And that's probably why everybody's leaving the state right now, because everything I see is Ontario, and Ohio and Michigan. Mm-hmm. It's because there's no beaches.
Yeah, they're going.
How do you close a beach? How do you close a public outdoor area and say, oh, okay, we're going to do this with a straight face? And it's not red tide. I don't know how long, as an American, people are just going to go, yeah, this is perfectly okay. This is fine. I'm fine with the government telling me what I can and cannot do to this extent.
That's crazy. Now, with this segment, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Palm Garden of Ocala, located 2700 Southwest 34th Street. With any questions, concerns, and comments you have within Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center for everything going on with folks that you have in there, or any visitations or expectations of that, you can give them hold of them, 352-854-6262. Proudly serving our community, and will do so through this pandemic and everything else going through. And I know a lot of people do have questions and comments. And Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, our friends there, 352-854-6262. And then, of course, Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving our Marion County for over 30-plus years. Full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solution for flooring needs, commercial and residential, experience in both. 1201 Southwest 17th Street, 351-3420. Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. And now, just to move on a little bit there, Galen, news and sports. We got a little sports to talk about. So Tom Brady is taking off the New England jersey and is moving on to possibly Tampa Bay to become a Buccaneer. Your thoughts?
I was a little surprised.
Yeah.
That I really thought that the Patriots would figure it out.
I thought so too.
But I think what I heard yesterday that kind of shocked me the most is that the Patriots never even made an offer. They never came to him with an offer. And again, when you work for somebody as long as Bill Belichick has worked with Tom Brady for over 20 years.
Yeah.
There's going to be some friction. Look at every rock and roll band that's any good. At some point, they break up. So it's over, and I don't know what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting. Which Tom Brady are they getting? They've got some great wide receivers in Tampa Bay. They have a horrific offensive line.
Yeah, that was the other thing, is the offensive line.
Is Tom Brady going to do anything? By the way, I'm full stop on I-75 north. Don't go on I-75 north. A lot of Canadians, people from Ohio, so stay off of I-75 north of 326. So yeah, I don't know what Tom Brady brings to the Bucs. They won't be able to announce it until the Wuhan virus is gone. How silly is that?
Yeah. That
WWE, do you see that they're just going to do it in an empty Coliseum?
They're going to do it in an empty Coliseum in Orlando, move from Tampa to Orlando.
Come on. Really, what would it... I'm sure there's some city ordinance that they would break, but... I
think they're trying to stream it live, too, so it's actually something that we can watch.
I'm just amazed by this. I really, really am. I'm just amazed and how willingly people just said, oh, okay, the government knows what's best. The government sucks at just about everything except for collecting money from its people. They're not good at anything. And we all complain about it. It's an amazing thing is we all complain about how bad the government is, but we're giving them this full control. You know, it's unbelievable. I don't know. I'm so sick of it. I really am.
Now, turning back to it a little bit, do you think the Patriots recover from not having Tom Brady? That they still have things in line with that program?
I think they're gonna be terrible this year.
You think so?
Adam is their backup quarterback. He's terrible. They have no wide receivers other than Julian Edelman, who's like 97 in NFL years. Their running backs are pretty good, but only because Tom Brady gets them the ball quickly. What they keep is they didn't lose anybody from their coaching staff. Mm-hmm. This is a team that was really good defensively, and they lost their best pass rusher to Kyle Van Noy, signed with the Jets yesterday.
Yeah,
they're not going to be very good, and so they're already talking about tanking for Trevor. The quarterback out of Clemson.
Yeah.
So let's see. The Buffalo Bills got better. They got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
That makes them a better team. We'll see what happens. I'll be curious to see if they go out and sign like a veteran quarterback. But I think I really think Bill Belichick's like, Tom's pretty good, but I made him.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah. I could sense that a little bit. Now I read on Twitter the recommendation letters or whatever you want to say after they parted from Kraft and Belichick. And Belichick, obviously, huge words to describe and compliment Tom Brady. But I always still feel that way, too, just like you said, that there's still an error of, but I made Tom Brady, so I'm going to still prove that this is my program and I'm the head coach.
I do think they love each other. I
think so, too.
You can't go through that long without truly loving each other, especially as a player coach.
Yeah.
You just can't. I mean, they're the most successful duo of coach and quarterback
of all time
in the history of football. And you could say they're the greatest coach and player relationship of all time.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
I guess the only thing that would be even close is Red Auerbach and Bill Russell. That was in an era where there were only 6 NBA teams.
Yeah.
Or 8 NBA teams. So, and they did it in an era in which, there was free agency and everything else. It's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible. And I think we'll look back. Our kids will look back. Yeah. My son, he's a huge Tom Brady fan.
Yeah.
He was not happy about it yesterday. And then he found out they were going to the Bucks. He goes, I'm going to the Bucks game this year. I'm like, great. Great. They sold out yesterday. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They shut down Ticketmaster getting tickets for the Bucks.
Yep.
Because the Bucks are hungry to not suck.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guy. There's a Canadian just standing on the middle of the road with his hood up. He can't move his car over? Come on, Canadian.
No.
There's people going around him on the shoulder. This is epic. That's typical Canada. Yep, he's waiting for somebody to move him. You can't move that expedition?
As we round
now
out.
He's getting a jump. There's a guy getting a jump on I-75. Canadian.
As we round out our segment here, real quick before we go, Galen, how's the blood supply and where's the blood mobile at today?
By the way, he's not even a car broken down. He's just helping somebody out. He just stopped on the left lane of I-75 to get somebody a jump. That's a Canadian. Hey, blood supply, we're hurting. We're right at a 2-day blood supply. The bottom line is we need people to come out. We're not sure where the blood mobile is going today because the drive we had was canceled due to this virus. So come to our donor center right there on the boulevard, 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. We are hurting. We're emergency supply of everything because of this panic. So please just get out there, give the gift of life, donate blood. It's clean. It's safe. If you're feeling good, we want you to come by and see us.
Absolutely. We'll appreciate it, Galen, and be safe getting up there, my friend. We'll be talking at you tomorrow.
All right. Bye, y'all.
See you, buddy. As Galen, Life South Community Blood Centers. And this segment brought to you Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center and Penn Flooring. As we say, get out there, give the gift of life, donate blood, and you could use it. If you feel healthy, get out there and donate blood. It's clean. They could use it. If you want to help, that's the way to do it. WOCA Ocala, back after this.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Chris Foster. Joe Biden moves closer to the Democratic Party presidential nomination with wins in 3 more states, Arizona, Florida, Illinois. He says to Bernie Sanders supporters,
our goal as a campaign and my goal as a candidate for president is to unify this party and then to unify the nation.
Ohio's primary postponed because of the coronavirus outbreak. It has the Trump administration looking to get money to affected business owners and working Americans.
Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin announcing a $1.2 trillion stimulus plan, including $300 billion for small business loans, allowing people who owe taxes 90 more days to pay, and providing $250 billion in cash payments. Those payments in the form of checks of at least $1,000 with a likely income test to determine who needs the most.
Fox's Todd Pyro. America's listening to Fox News.
When Allstate agents and employees go to work every day, their number one priority is protecting what matters most to you. For military veterans, that instinct to protect also comes naturally. No wonder thousands of veterans build good careers with Allstate. And now, Allstate is ranked the number one employer on the 2020 Military Friendly Employers list. You're in good hands with Allstate.
For career opportunities or to get a quote, contact Allstate today. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
According to the 2010 census, only 13% of the population was over 65. Well, I wasn't part of the 13% back then, but I am now. And with the 2020 census, my response will inform funding for things like healthcare, public transit, all types of things to make 65 feel like the new 40. Yeah, okay, maybe the new 50.
Shape your future. Start here. Complete the census at 2020census.gov. Paid for by U.S. Census Bureau.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
This is Jan from Palm Garden, and March 30th is Doctors' Day. We are so grateful for the tireless dedication and professionalism of all the doctors we work with. I'd like to single out our medical directors, Alfonso, Martinez, and Sid Clevenger, and our attending physicians, Doctors Kidambi, Panchel, and Siva, for their ongoing service to our precious residents. Join me in wishing all the fine doctors of Ocala and Marion County a happy Doctors' Day on March 30th, and thank you from Palm Garden.
WOCA.
Ocala, quick minute news. Well, the party's over, with Governor Ron DeSantis taking broad action to try and stop the spread of coronavirus.
Bars and nightclubs, effective 5 p.m. today, they're going to be suspended for 30 days in the state of Florida.
DeSantis also announced that restaurants will have to cut their capacity by at least half. The governor said local mayors have the power to impose even stricter rules to stop COVID-19. The coronavirus is leading to some big changes for students in Florida. Governor DeSantis announced that all testing requirements for K-12 students are canceled for the school year. The Florida Department of Health is now reporting 216 confirmed cases of coronavirus in the state. The death toll is now at 7. Health officials confirm that nearly half of the COVID-19 cases in Florida involve people over the age of 60. Joe Biden is the landslide winner in Florida's presidential primary. He took 62% of the vote, finishing far ahead of Bernie Sanders at 23%. Biden also won Illinois and Arizona.
our campaign has had a very good night. We've moved closer to securing the Democratic Party's nomination for president. And we're doing it by building a broad coalition that we need to win in November.
94% of Florida Republicans voted for President Donald Trump. After scrubbing the launch this past weekend, SpaceX will try to send up 60 Starlink satellites from the Kennedy Space Center this morning. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 rocket is scheduled for 8:16 a.m. Eastern Time from Launch Pad 39 Alpha. Well, the Tom Brady era is over in New England, and he's headed for Tampa Bay. The NFL Network reports the 42-year-old free agent quarterback will sign with the Buccaneers. The six-time Super Bowl champ has spent his entire 20-year career with the Patriots. For your Ocala Quick Minute News, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
On the first and third Wednesday mornings each month at 9:05 a.m., Robert Colin with On Top of the World will be our guest as we learn all about the exciting lifestyle and new home choices available at Ocala's premier adult active community, On Top of the World. From time to time, Robert will bring guests, and you're sure to enjoy our little chats. After all, you deserve the world, and we bring it to you.
Each morning, we wake up thankful to live in a free nation with liberty and justice for all. But sometimes those liberties can be put in jeopardy, and you may have questions about what to do or who to call. Let Doc Blanchard of Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland help you find the answers. Attorneys at law since 1974 and located in downtown Ocala. If you have legal issues, don't go it alone. Call 352-732-7218. Blanchard, Miriam, Adele, and Kirkland, helping protect your liberties every day.
Tuesday night, we'll have partly cloudy skies, the low 63 to 65. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, mostly sunny and warm. The high Wednesday and Thursday, 85 to 89. Friday's high, 87 to 90. Saturday and Sunday will be warm with a few peaks of sunshine. The high Saturday, 85 to 89. Sunday's high, 83 to 88. Turning cloudy and warm Monday with a high 84 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Stu.
Hey, this is Matt from Crossroads Auto Sales. I want to invite you to come over and check out our vehicles. All of our vehicles at Crossroads Auto Sales go through a rigorous 100-point safety inspection. We work with most outside finance companies, and we even have in-house financing available. Stop by today at 1800 Northwest 10th Street or give me a call at 690-6695. That's 690-6695. Crossroads Auto Sales. We won't leave you stranded at the Crossroad.
WOCA.
Listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall as we are streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. As we do our little segment now, it's time for news bits of news that you can chew, as we want to make sure that as we mentioned here, as we're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall, just to mention this with the change in their expectation of hours. It says here, Paddock Mall, the safety of our guests, retailers, and employees is our top priority as they continue to carefully follow the official guidance from state and local health officials. And the Paddock Mall will be temporarily adjusting operating hours. And they will now be opening 11 a.m. and closing at 7 p.m. As for Sundays, they'll be opening at 12 p.m., not till 12 p.m., and then closing at 6 p.m. And this is all until further notice. Certain retailers have chosen to modify operating hours or close temporarily, and they are giving all tenants the opportunity to do what is right for their business at this time. They support our community as an employment center and point of purchase for necessary goods and services, and their modified hours are intended to strike a balance between allowing the communities to receive goods, services, and employment needed while also enabling the team to implement disinfectant and cleaning practices each evening, in addition to the already rigorous cleanings that are happening throughout the day. So Paddock Mall adjusted hours from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then Saturday 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. So that's a little bit of news there.
I think you meant Sunday in that last part. You said Monday through Saturday, and then Saturday, you meant to say Sunday?
Right. So Monday through Saturday they'll be open from 11 until 7, and then on Sunday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yep. Thank you, buddy. Now, as we continue news bits of news that you can chew a little bit here. It's hard to chew when you know that there's a virus pending. So, as all Florida public and private schools canceled through April 15th. All public and private schools canceled through April 15th amid the COVID-19 scare. All public and private schools in Florida will be closed through April 15th because of coronavirus outbreak. And Education Commissioner Richard Corcoran, Richard Corcoran made the announcement Tuesday as the part of an effort to support the Florida Division of Emergency Management in ensuring the Floridians are kept safe as possible. Quote, "The containment of COVID-19 is essential, and this is not a decision we made lightly." Quote, "Districts have taken action and have instituted distance learning as a necessary precaution to protect students, educators, families, and Florida's overall public health." Corcoran said that his department is working with the school districts across the state to provide guidance that helps students who need access to food while the school facilities are closed. It says here, "Our number one priority is keeping our families safe and healthy and stopping the spread of the virus." And he believes that shutting down K-12 facilities and technical center campuses will help mitigate the spread of COVID-19. He said school districts are becoming encouraged to operate virtually or through non-classroom-based means to the greatest extent possible to implement distance learning. Corcoran said school districts also should be prepared to extend their education calendars through June 30th to the extent feasible and necessary, as all Florida public and private schools are canceled through April 15th. As this one here, as Ocala City Council candidates facing runoff election after falling short in vote count. It says here, the quest to fill the open 2-district seat on Ocala City Council will require a 4th election. That's because none of the 3 candidates running in Tuesday's special election received the required 50% plus 1 vote needed to secure the seat that was vacated by longtime Councilwoman Mary Sue Rich. Ira Bethia, a senior, gathered 47.3% of the ballots, or 3,221 votes. Lonnie Hooks III tallied 27.78%, or 1,889 votes. And Ronald Alanders Jr. nabbed 24.84%, or 1,689 votes. This means that Bethia and Hooks will square off in a runoff election that will be held on May 19th. The winner of that race would be seated at the June 2nd City Council meeting. Tuesday's special election was needed because it was discovered that the initial winner of the district's 2-seat in November, Tyrone Eugene Oliver Jr., of course, was a convicted felon, and the City Council refused to seat him in December and called for the special election to fill a seat. So there you go. As that means Bethia and Hooks will square off in a runoff election that will be held May 19th. May 19th, the expectations of pending the more information along the virus. There you go there. A little bit else within Ocala, as the Ocala medical provider offering testing for coronavirus. It says testing for the coronavirus is being offered at Premier Medical Associates in Ocala. Lena Cohen, Vice President, Patient Care, and those who are being tested must first have a televisit with one of the healthcare provider doctors, who will then make a decision about the need for the test based on symptoms. She added that the doctors would be ordering tests for those who are showing no symptoms of the disease, saying that was stressed by President Donald Trump during a news conference on Monday. It says that they will not be or won't be ordering tests for those who are not showing symptoms. as, quote, if your doctor doesn't think you need the test, don't get the test. Don't get the test, Trump said. Trump said his own COVID-19 came back negative as he was tested after the photograph at the Mar-a-Lago with President Jair Bolsonaro's communication chief. As Cohen said, residents who are showing symptoms are concerned should call the Premier Medical Associates at 352-561-3182 to schedule the televisit. She said that they should not come to the medical office because they could infect other patients and much-needed healthcare workers that are there. The results of the test are expected to be available in what they consider to be 2 to 5 days. After being tested, patients are expected to self-quarantine themselves in their homes until they have the results. Quote, we are doing everything we can to take care of our patients, Cohen said. Quote, we are putting everything towards this, and the sooner we test people, the better. Cohen said her agency will also continue to seek more testing kits, which are desperately needed. Quote, I've spent the day fighting with labs, and I'll keep fighting, she said. We need more swabs. Cohen added that her agency also has psychiatric services available through televisits, as the fear of COVID-19 is taking a toll on the mental health of some villagers and area residents. People have had panic attacks, she said. This is a crazy situation we've never seen before for some. And Premier Medical Associates testing site in Ocala is located at 9311 Southwest Highway 200. However, like they said, if you do not have symptoms, you will not be tested. It's if you do. It's if you do.
Actually, it makes perfect sense because, I mean,
we don't want to waste the test kits. Yeah.
I definitely would. I would only be tested if I was advised to. Like the same way how, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing, but same kind of principle. Where, like for example, as I'm getting ready to take a test for school, I definitely don't want to be tested without preparing for the test, without studying the material, right? But then as soon as I finish, studying material, reviewing before the test and all that, and I feel more comfortable and confident in myself, then yeah, by all means, test me out to see how well I know the material. The same way how if I'm not showing any symptoms of the coronavirus, well, what is there the need for to be tested?
Right. This one here, City of Ocala's Municipal Services Department suspends utility disconnections. This is important within the community. The City of Ocala has temporarily suspended service disconnections for the next 30 days and will reevaluate the policy and time frame as the coronavirus situation develops. While billing for usage will continue during this time, the city's Municipal Services Department is committed to the reliability of essential services to all residential and business customers. Customers are encouraged to maintain their accounts. Customer service representatives will be available by phone in lieu of questions and comments and concerns in lieu of their accounts at 352-629-2489. And that's 629-2489 for questions and comments with the city's municipal services. And Monday through Friday, they will be open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to answer those questions. It says payments can be made at self-service kiosks, Fidelity Express, MoneyGram locations. Additional payment options and online tools are available at ocalaflorida.org. Now, customers have the option to start and stop services, transfer residential services, request a payment extension, update contact information, view rate and fee information, and sign up for auto pay and electric billing. And customers can make phone payments via the automated pay phone system at 844-286-1785. And again, you can make your electronic or automated phone system payments at 844-286-1785. For more information, contact the City of Ocala Municipal Centers. Again, their number, 352-629-2489, 629-2489. And you can also email them at oeu@ocalafl.org, oeu@ocalafl.org. So for all the questions and concerns within the municipality for their services for utilities, give them a call, get your questions answered. I'm sure everybody has now, some people being out of work in lieu of everything, coming to a close, to shut down, or just limit. And with the layoffs, I'm sure people do. They're looking forward to answering those questions for you, to what you can do to maintain their accounts. And if anything, that's what you want to do. You want to talk to somebody and find out. You don't want to let it go by the wayside and then try to claim later that, hey, I couldn't pay my bill because I didn't have work. Get it handled now. Some other bits of news as we're within Ocala here, as we take a look nonetheless, as there's been I'm trying to go back through a little bit of news here, just that's a little less COVID and a little bit more important to keep conversation going with other things. Now, one of the things I want to mention is what we were talking about a little bit with Galen and Lewis sports, so a little bit of sports to talk about, as we now see Tom Brady no longer putting on a Patriots uniform, as he will be stepping away from the New England Patriots, and rumor has it that he will be going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's basically to the idea that Tom Brady is leaving the Patriots for the Buccaneers. Tom Brady has literally done it all on his 20-year NFL resume. He is so jam-packed with accomplishments and highlights that you could divide it into thirds, and it would still put that at almost any other starting quarterback to shame. He says goodbye to the New England Patriots on Tuesday after 3 rings on one hand, 3 on the other. Hours later, he agreed to start anew in Tampa, where the Buccaneers have had just 3 winning seasons and 0 playoff appearances in the last 12 seasons. And the questions loomed large as to why the Buccaneers. It says here, Brady surely went over all kinds of reasons as he's discussed his decision with the camp prior to accepting the deal. But the real answers are simple, because he can, because he wants to, because he doesn't care what you think. At this point, Brady has nothing left to prove. Nothing that he's done or that he does next season, which next season he'll be 43 years old, can take away from the accomplishments he's already compiled in New England, winning his first 3 titles in a 4-year span and shaking off Super Bowl losses to the Giants in 2007 and 2011, only to win 3 more rings in 4 additional tries from 2014 to 2018. And it says whether he puts the Buccaneers on his shoulders and wills them to a postseason appearance, or whether he falls short in his quest to defy Father Time one more time, Brady already has distinguished himself as the greatest quarterback of 2 generations, if not all time, right? But in taking his talents to Tampa, they say he deserves admiration of a different kind. But just interesting nonetheless. The thing is I'm a Saints fan, and I respect Tampa. I still watch Tampa because they're a little bit local. But now we're actually going to be watching twice a year Drew Brees taking on Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I don't know how I feel about that. And I don't know how I feel about Tom Brady playing in the NFC. And like we asked Galen about that too, and he says, what kind of Tom Brady are they going to get? Are they going to get a Tom Brady that's going to ramp up the idea of an offense, even though it's behind a weaker offensive line, but has got really good receivers? Or is it a model? Is he there to give a little bit and then at the same time kind of mentor whoever is going to be next or whatever? I don't know. It's interesting nonetheless, and it's a little something else to talk about. And see, that's the beauty of sports when it comes down to it, is that little distraction from the regular stuff going on.
True. And if he's known as a really great quarterback, in fact, best quarterback of the 32 generations of all time, I gotta say that's quite the reputation. And if I had a reputation like that, involving a period of 2 generations, that amount of time frame, that time period, well, I would definitely feel accomplished, because that is not something that anybody can just have. They definitely have to earn it.
To an extent, I think he has. I think he's earned quite a bit there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Not saying he didn't. I'm just saying it's quite the accomplishment. He should feel proud of himself.
Nonetheless, too, as that was mentioned with the idea of sports too, just bringing up a little bit is the a little bit of baseball. As we know, they're pushing back opening day and all that stuff, and now the New York Yankees players deciding whether to leave camp on day coronavirus hits the organization again. It says this is out of Tampa, Florida, as some New York Yankees players packed up Tuesday morning and left camp. Others plan to keep working out at the Steinbrenner Field. Quote, "I'll be up here as long as we can," said pitcher J.A. Happ, who resides in the Tampa Bay area. Yet Happ acknowledged the rapid and fluid nature of the events within COVID-19 in the world. Quote, "Everything seems to be changing on a daily basis," and quote, "We're trying to be as smart as we can." At about an hour after Happ's comments, a second Yankees minor league player was reported to have tested positive for the coronavirus. General Manager Brian Cashman would not comment on the latest case, but he vowed to remain at the Yankees spring training complex. "I'm not going anywhere," said Cashman. Yankees manager Aaron Boone did not comment Tuesday morning, except to say that he was driving home to Connecticut to be with his family and wishing everyone the opportunity to remain safe. According to the Yankees reliever, Zach Britton, New York is not viewed as a viable option for players to currently live and train due to the state's elevated number of coronavirus cases. So it's a lot to ponder there. Stay or go. Britton carried a PlayStation console box and a sports drink as he entered the players' parking lot on Tuesday morning at Steinbrenner Field, and he was about to drive to Texas. "I'm going to go home for a few days and see my family. I haven't seen them in a month," said the lefty, who is also the Yankees union rep. Britton's plan was to come back here and continue to work out with the guys, but knowing today's plan hinges on tomorrow's uncertainty. Quote, "That's the kind of mindset everybody has now," Britton said, "as we do not know how long this delay is going to be, and many of the Yankees' 40-man roster players have elected to remain working at Steinbrenner Field." Now on Tuesday, Garrett Cole threw a bullpen session while Stanton and DJ LeMahieu played catch on the main field. Illinois resident Mike Tushman said he was driving home and was seeing ahead to his car with a cold weather mask over his mouth and nose. And Aaron Judge, who has a stress fracture and a first right rib, was also in the complex as he awaits the latest CT scan this week to update his progress. So a lot going on there. And I've wondered that too, kind of like what they put in there as we come away with the idea that like a lot of people, not just these ball players, but in general, a lot of people don't know how long, don't know what's next as far as how long things are going to take in lieu of the virus itself. And now it's to the point when we kind of tie it into local business and everything. If these places are going to shut down, they wanted to do it for 30 days. What happens? What's going to happen at day 14, day 15, day 20, day 26? You know, that I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest hurdle is everybody's concept of what they could think that the unknown is, and when there isn't a whole lot to do. Man, that's one of the things that you end up pondering too much or thinking too hard about is the unknown, which makes you feel a little pessimistic at times. But I guess that's just how it goes.
Do that to your head sometimes. You'll just be like, well, really unsure of what to expect, and I can relate.
Yeah. It says here that I was going to talk with that one nonetheless, but obviously the coronavirus is hitting, we know, the market real bad. It says that Target stores will be cutting their hours dedicated to weekly time for elderly and vulnerable shoppers. All Target stores will close no later than 9 p.m. local time starting Wednesday. As we mentioned, as we're broadcasting to you live from the Paddock Mall here, they've changed their hours as well as to have Monday through Saturday opening at 11 a.m. to close at 6 p.m. and then on Sunday to open at 12 p.m. and close at 6 p.m. So with that, we're coming towards the top of the 9 o'clock hour. Stay tuned with us as we're going to have Robert Colin from On Top of the World talk a little bit in the studio and go for there. Kind of get a little distraction going for the conversation and a little maintenance on your home. You're listening to WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. Back after this.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Chris Foster.
We move closer to securing the Democratic Party's nomination for president.